What the mock game look like on film?
Worked out really well. We had got 80 plays and got to move some guys around. We actually worked the ball to the guys we had planned to see some guys, and it worked out quite well. So we feel like we made a really good step forward. Played pretty clean at the line of scrimmage. The speed and the tempo at the line of scrimmage was really good, enough to say that we, that was a good tone up for what's coming up on Sunday, and we'll be ready for the next step.
Pete, it looked like Russ was at many more impressive throws out here today. Just what has stood out with him over the last 3 or 4 practices?
He's just feeling the guys he's working with really well. It takes a little bit, and he's been really hot and executing a lot of difficult stuff. Situation we're making it hard on him, to try to pressure him in down and distance situations that he's got to come through on. He's done a really good job. The guys are catching the ball really well too and making plays for him, which is always part of it. We have a good group, and they have a good feel for one another, and it shows up the more we're out here.
Looks like Thomas is running really hard in this game.
Yeah, I think Thomas, if you think about last year, he was coming off his broken leg, and we made it barely for the first game that he made it back. And I think game 2, he breaks his leg in another place, and so he never got rolling last year. He seems to be fully recovered, going throughout the offseason, into camp. All of that stuff has worked in his favor. He looks great. He really is back to the form that we saw a couple years ago, and we're all really excited about that, and he is too.
What do you need to see from Eddie Lacy during preseason games in particular?
Just get him in the offense. Make sure we see. He's already shown. He's in shape. You can see him run around here. You can see him execute the stuff. He understands the offense, the running schemes that we employ, and I think just keep working. I have no problem. He's going to be fine. He's a load, just like we thought, and you can see him bouncing off guys the way that we expect, and we're not trying to make him a small back. We want him to be a big back and run big, and he's ready to do that.
Cromartie's a guy who has a little bit of experience. What's he shown?
He's shown that he fits in. He's competing, to make the club here in a number of different ways, special teams as well as at safety. He's got a little bit of corner background too, so makes him pretty versatile. So we're happy to see that he's making good progress right now.
What have you seen from Nick Bennett in camp so far?
Nick's doing well. He's been. We've put him right at the point of attack a lot. We want to see him just grow as the blocker. Nick is a really good catcher, and he runs routes really well. We want to make sure that we're through this camp. We're really stressing him to make sure he's up to speed with the running game. We plan to use Nick a lot. We see him fitting in a bunch, so he's given us no reason to think otherwise.
Jermaine Ifedi was back today?
Yep, he's ready to go, full speed today. Had a good day's practice. He looked pretty good.
How competitive do you view that right tackle spot?
It is competitive. It is, our competition is everything around here, and he's on it. Ethan's done a good job. This was, a little bit of that Wally Pipp thing, with Ethan getting the shot, and he jumped at it and did very well. Ethan continues to give us options and opportunities. He played center today for the first time. I don't know if you noticed that. That's just to really try to expand on his versatility. It makes a big difference on how we work things down the road here when we figure out what the roster looks like. And I know Tom was really excited about what he did today. I haven't seen him much yet. I'll have to see it on film, but just the fact that he could jump in there in one day's time and execute, it's a statement. He's a very unique player that he's that versatile.
How's Mark Arbo doing?
Man, I like him a lot. He's been tough. He's caught a lot of tough balls. He's a physical kid that blocks well, cares. He's really smart. He's studied his tail off. He's already looking at a couple different spots that he can play for us. He's off to a really good start in this camp. He's done nothing but positive things.
His experience in the pro-style offense, does that show up?
He has definitely run the routes and that are similar to the things we're doing. That style of offense that they have there in Michigan, it definitely carries over, and you can see it. He's not a guy that's the spread offensive guy that hasn't run a bunch of intricate routes and stuff. He's done all that stuff, and it looks like it's part of his game right now.
Can you do X and Z, or you want him in one spot?
He'll be able to do both by the end of camp.
Quinn Jefferson missed most of his rookie year. He's looking pretty good out there. It's a pretty big opportunity for him.
This is really his first day of really being able to do something. I didn't see him much during the practice, but it's really important for us to get him back in the mix. We've been counting on that. Again, I don't have much to report, but it's great that he's back finally, and so he's worked really hard to get here. It's a long haul, and the fact that he made it through today, it's a great statement. We'll see how he is tomorrow.
How does the backup quarterbacks look on film from what they did on Monday?
Both guys were able to make some plays. It was hard, they went against the first defense quite a bit, and they didn't give them much, so they're pretty stingy on the defensive side. But both guys are making progress, and they're both commanding the offense okay. So it will come down to game time and how they play in the game. So it will really be pivotal for those guys.
J.D. McKissic's done a bunch of different things to be out here, backfield receiver, return
guarding and such. What is it about his skill set that you really like?
He's a guy that can play both spots. We saw that last year. You know, we brought him in to see if he could do a job for us, coming out of the backfield and be a third down guy. Knowing that he had wide receiver background, we thought that would give us some flexibility, very much like CJ has. We left him at wide receiver the entire offseason to make sure that he could catch up at the wide receiver spot, and now he's back to playing both. So he can play running back and he can play receiver, and he's a punt and kickoff returner. So he plays really hard. He's one of the most consistent high-intensity guys on the field. You can see it every day when you watch him. He's making a big pitch to make this team.
Ray Clark was back doing some stuff today.
He's ready to go. Yeah, he looks good. As far as I know. Now, let me check the film. Be a little bit hesitant before I say too far. But I know he worked hard today. Saw some stuff that we liked. It's great to have him back out.
Because we didn't see Nate Jefferson last year much of this. What can he do ideally for you guys?
Well, he's got some versatility that he can play 3 technique and 5 technique for us. Honestly, I'm not sure where he's going to be best with this group in the mix that we have. We'll find that out in time. We would like to see him play 5 technique for us. So if we could, that would help us out. So, but he's a high motor guy. He has good movement skills, and the versatility and his athleticism allows him to play more than one spot. So we'll see how it works out.
How much is Trey Madden part of the fullback thing?
He's right in it. I mean, he's been leading the spot the whole time. He's been there all off season. He knows what's going on in all phases. He can catch the football. He can get out. He can run the football. You know, we know he has great running background, so that gives us a flexibility when it comes to roster time. And he's a budding special teams guy. You know, he could be a core special teams guy for us. So we're anxious to see how that plays out. Again, that will be another one that'll take us all the way through camp to figure it out.
Where was Blair Walsh's confidence when you first met with him in the offseason and decided?
He was looking for a new challenge and a new setup, and which we were offering, of course, and some other teams, and he liked what was going on here. I thought, you know, he's had great seasons already, and so we're getting him at a time when he's really got something to prove. He has been a tremendous worker. He's really diligent guy. He's a very good athlete too. You can see he's got soccer background in him and all that. He's got a big leg too, so we haven't seen the ball pop up in the air like this in years. So we're really excited about what he's bringing, and now it's just about consistency. He's been on it for I don't know, 5 or 6 straight days. He's hit everything, you know, so he's doing good.
Pete, when you guys played Tampa last year, did anything stand out with Bradley McDougall then about just when you were leading up to that game or after the game?
It wasn't because of that game. It was really the offseason study. Well, we knew he was a good player, but it was when we went back to the film and watched and found out that he was available and that he might be interested that we really dug in. You know, he's played both spots. He's been a guy that has worked his way through every team he's been on to the starting spot, and it's because of his mentality and his attitude that he brings. He's really aggressive. He plays right in the style that we love, and I love that we can move him around because he's got good background. He's really looks like a great guy on our team. So he's rotating with Earl and Cam and playing both spots, and so we feel like we got 3 guys that are starters for us at this time, and you know, we'll see what happens with that, but. It's been a great get for us.
Were you surprised when he was still out there?
Yeah, because once we did that, you know, all the work on him and all that and studied him up, he wasn't like he was just sitting there. He had other options. He had teams that were offering him a lot of money and some other, you know, pretty good play time options, and he wanted to come here and be part of our team. So we respect that tremendously.
How have you seen Jermaine Kearse play in this camp?
He's been on it. He's competing. He knows, you know, we picked up a couple guys coming in, and he knows that he's got to compete. He's doing a great job of it. He's really working hard on teams too, where he made himself here in the program. He's going right back to you know, grinding out through this camp, and he's done really well. Had a great catch the other day in the mock game, and he's done stuff every day. Just like, you know, he's reliable. He's on it. He can play every position. Russell totally knows how to throw the ball to him and find him and work with him. There's a great chemistry there.
Seems like Jordan Roos has got some run with the ones that are in there from time to time. What have you seen with him? What do you like about him?
Tom's done quite a bit of you know, exchanging guys just to make sure that we're getting a good look. We want to see guys play with other guys, see how the connection clicks or not. Jordan Roos is really on his game. This was a great pickup. To get him as a free agent, if he would have been a middle round draft pick, I think we got a good guy. I mean, I just think he's going to play for us. He's going to be a guy here for a good while. I think he's going to compete and be a tough guy from where we go. I'm really fired up about him.
With Malik McDowell, why is he better served to be in Michigan rather than being here around the team?
He can't work out yet. He can't do anything, and I just think it's better for him to, you know, be in that setting for now. We'll get him back in time, and I don't know when that will be, but the docs will, you know, they'll make a decision on when it's best for him to come back. Can't do anything yet. He's just walking is all he's doing, so he has a routine that he's doing there.
How is Tyron Swoop's quarterback helping him right now, tight end? Is it?
Well, not always. It doesn't always show up, but he has. He just seems to be making the transition. We're pretty blown away that it's been this quick because he's already blocking people, which we thought that might be a challenge. He's had no trouble catching the football. His route run is pretty good. So what it takes to play quarterback could add to wherever you're going to go next, and he has taken the experience, the awareness. He understands routes and concepts and principles, where the ball is going. He's learned everything just like that. So he's doing a nice job.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right.